right combinations of amino acids, from the right kinds of protein, mostly, animal proteins. I'm going to upregulate my muscle synthesis. So I really am thinking all the time about how do I use food to biohack my way to high performance, great energy, great focus, and abundant life. And so that's the first principle. The second is eat the rainbow. And it sort of follows along with that, which is, in plant foods, there's 25,000 different phytochemicals. And those are mostly uncharted territory, but it turns out they're really critical for regulating our biology. So we're really kind of lazy. If we don't need to make vitamin C as a human, we get it from our food. But there are so many other pathways that depend on all these plant chemicals, the reds, the blues, the greens, the yellows, the oranges. These contain all these plant chemicals, phytochemicals, flavonoids, terpenes, all kinds of stuff. So powerful. And that's why it's important to eat the rainbow. And then 75% rule is my favorite, which is 75% of your plate should be non-starchy vegetables. And you can load up. I got mushrooms, I have roasted eggplant, I'll have a broccoli rabe, I'll have maybe a salad with lots of different vegetables in it. So I might have, a few dozen different types of vegetables at dinner or at meals, because that's where all the yummy good medicine is. And then when you're eating, whether it's grains or beans, you have to understand, one, who should be eating them, two, how to prepare them, and three, which grains and beans should you eat, because they're not all created equal. For example, a commercially raised wheat that's a hybrid dwarf wheat has got far more sugar and starch than sugar. So it's got a super starch called amylopectin A, because it's bred for that. Two, it's got more gliadin proteins because of how it's bred, so it's more likely to cause autoimmunity and inflammation. Three, it's sprayed with glyphosate, which destroys your microbiome and links to cancer. And four, it's preserved with calcium propionate, which has been linked to autism and ADD and behavioral issues in kids and even adults. So that's one grain. Or you could have, for example, Himalayan tartary buckwheat, which I talk about in the book, which is a ancient Himalayan grain that was grown in the most roughest conditions, that expresses over 132 phytochemicals that regulate your immune system and rejuvenates you. It has high levels of protein. It's low glycemic. It has tons of minerals. It's a superfood. But you could have 1 cup of white flour or 1 cup of Himalayan buckwheat flour, totally different on your biology. So the book really focuses on quality. And whenever you're eating, whether it's beans, grains, nuts, seeds, figure that out.
In the book, you don't just talk about principles, you also include recipes, right? So what are some of the combinations of the rainbow that, what is your favorite recipe actually in the book? I'd love to know. Yeah.
Well, it's surprising, right? Because it's not what you'd normally think, but it's pancakes. You're like, Dr. Hyman, have you lost your mind? And why are you telling people to eat pancakes? Because it's not exactly a health food.
Well, are they made from the flour that you referred to?
Well, so yes. So these pancakes are made with buckwheat flour. Now, I've got a super lucky circumstance where I can get access to these Himalayan tartary buckwheat flour pancake, which is such a powerful superfood and power food. But you can do it with regular buckwheat too. And not only does it have this amazing buckwheat flour with 132 phytochemicals and also incredible phytochemicals that help rejuvenate your immune system, like quercetin and rutin and so forth, but it also has prebiotic fibers in there that help your gut. And on top of that, it's made with other non-grain flours like almond flour, which is great as far as source of protein and extra good fats. It's so delicious. And then of course it's got pasture-aged eggs, which have wonderful properties for your antioxidants. All the dark yellows you see in those are from the carotenoids, which are really great for your eyes and skin and hair. And then of course there's the vitamins and minerals in there. And then you've got the spices. And now spices are the amazing things. This is chai pancakes. So all the chai spices, which includes cardamom, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, and these spices, like cinnamon, for example, helps regulate blood sugar, and ginger is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Each of these has their own medicinal superfood powers. So spices are among the most potent superfoods. So you can get high protein, low starch, good fat, phytochemically rich pancakes that taste freaking awesome.
Sounds so good. So a lot of diets, right, they come with their ups and downs in terms of energy throughout the day, or differences between how you feel on day one and day three, and it's very prescribed. How would you describe what we can expect from this particular plan?
Well, it's really rough. First, you lose weight, then you have mental clarity, then your joint pains and aches go away, then you sleep better, then you have better sex, then your skin clears up, and then your digestive problems go away, and your postnasal drip is gone, and you feel 20 years younger. So those are the side
Awful. Sounds
effects you have to
awful. Yeah.
be careful and watch for sure.
So these are all clear physical health benefits, right? And you mentioned mental clarity, but I'd love if you could talk a little bit about the chapter that you have on food and mood, right? So we're facing higher levels of depression and anxiety than we've ever had before. So how can you use food as medicine for your mind?
Well, most people don't connect what they eat with how they feel. And it's really striking to me. And I've had people come with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, or more severe issues, even things like ADD and autism and bipolar disease, schizophrenia. And what really became clear to me as I was practicing functional medicine for decades is as I treated their physical problems, their mental problems went away. I jokingly call myself the accidental psychiatrist because I never intended to treat their brain. But what I realized was when you create health in the brain is connected to the body, despite what we learn in medical school. And everything you do influences your brain, what you eat, how you feel, your nutritional levels, your hormone levels, your gut microbiome, environmental toxins, your mitochondria and energy systems, your immune system. In fact, many of these problems of the brain are inflammatory diseases of the brain. Depression is brain inflammation. And we know from now large clinical trials, when you swap out crap for good food, depression goes away. When you look at even more serious issues like violence and behavioral issues, it's striking what happens in prisons where they can improve diets in the prisons by swapping out the junk food for healthy food, and the violent crime goes down by 56%. You add a multivitamin, it goes down by 80%. In juvenile detention centers, violent and disruptive behavior goes down by 91%, and suicides by 100%. I mean, suicide is the third leading cause of death in teenage boys. And to have a treatment that cuts suicide by 100%, you think it would be headline news, but it's not, just because it's healthy food. So we know even in academic performance, CDC put out a report called Nutrition and Academic Performance, and showed how clearly how processed foods and high sugar foods and foods with chemicals and additives and lack of protective whole foods, which are really the foundation of the Pekin diet, leads to poor academic performance and poor attention and poor focus and less likelihood of success in life, less likely to go to college, get a good paying job. And all that is just really related to food. So, and now, I wrote this other book, The Ultra Mind Solution, almost 12, 13, 14 years ago. And I was then considered, way out there.